Okay, folks, are we there? Sorry about the slight tardiness. I might be a minute or two late. I was just arguing with a woman about a tent. Unbelievable. More on that next week. Okay, folks. This is episode 23 of TrampCast, part 2, because we didn't get finished the other day with the wind and the weather and the darkness and the cold. We had to call quits slightly. So here we are again. I tried to schedule again on Monday afternoon and Tuesday afternoon. Basically, folks, it's been windy for 3 days. Let me... Hey, Patrick! Wow, I'm honoured. Thank the wind. Yeah. Here we go. Let me show you the current state of the tent, because that's become almost a bloody tradition. This is the tent after 3 days of strong winds. This side is almost gone. Yeah. Every time the wind blows, chunks of material are blowing away. It's the doorway is just, there's the seams around the edge, but there's no actual door material anymore. Tina girl, you're gonna come here. Come and say hello to the peoples. Here's the other tradition, folks. Here she is. Here you go, girl. Come on. Come and say hello to the peoples. Yeah. That's a Tina girl. She's just been fed. So I'll grab her now before she runs away. Hold on. Put the focus back on the star of the show. Me. In my eyes. Most people think that Tina's the star. But, you know. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, folks. This is episode 23 of TrampCast. From the channel Delta Mike. That's me. Down and out. A tramp. A hobo. A homeless guy. A vagrant. An indigent person. I can see your messages, Tina. In Torrevieja, a city on the southeast coast of Spain, on the Costa Blanca south, in the Alicante region of the Valencia community, Comunidad Valenciana. This is us. Come back, babe. Come on back. Come here. You're not getting away from me this time. Come on, I'm not chasing you like the other time. Come here. Okay, folks. She got away from me. I got her back now. She's under control for at least the next 10 seconds. Here we go then, folks. This is a continuation because we had to pull up short the other day. Now, while we wait for others to arrive, I can't do any more numbers because we did them the other day. Fred, not Tina. No, sorry. No more numbers. I don't have any more facts about the number 23. What I do have, I have one of the getting to know you questions that I didn't cover the other day, hanging in reserve. So we can talk about that for a couple of minutes while we wait and see if we get any more participants. Because I only just set the stream up. I almost forgot. It was only about, I don't know, just over half an hour ago, I think, that I created the stream and pushed it out there. So, my fault, my bad. But a busy day one way or another. A busy day laying down doing nothing but laying on the bed, but twiddling with computery stuff. Mobile phoney stuff, YouTubery. It can take over, it can get in the way. But I've had so much communication with people in the last week or so. It is the last week, isn't it, since things took off. So much communication, so many donations, so many people to thank and chat with. We'll get to those donations this Sunday when we do this week's TrampCast. For now, Tina, shush, darling, shush. For now, we're celebrating reaching 500 subscribers. Yes, Tina, yeah, I got that one. We're celebrating reaching 500 subscribers, and well, we've surpassed it by quite a way. Any minute now, we're about to hit 650. I didn't get a chance to look at the numbers before we started here. I was, like I said, I was busy arguing with someone about a tent. More on that soon, probably. Tina girl, Tina, can you give it a rest? Come here. Tina, stop. Give it a rest. That's enough. Come on, babe. Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. I need you to be quiet. Well, I mean, I think it's all still the same thing. I think it's the same. It's the boost from the interview last week, where the guy Barry on the other channel interviewed me. And if you saw the video this morning, yeah, you did, Patrick. I know you saw the video. You commented. The guy Andy that brought me the produce, the food. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. The guys that don't do YouTube, you know what I mean? There can't be many YouTubing tramps. I know other people visit tramps and homeless, and I shouldn't call people tramps. It's kind of almost a performative. It's almost a joke to call myself that. Sometimes you just need a label, don't you? You just need a label that works. But YouTube don't actually like that word. A lot like you, Patrick, with your violent. That word holds you back with YouTube. It's one of their negative words when it comes to advertising. And tramp, likewise for me, which is why I'm transitioning to hobo as much as possible, except for the tagline for the show itself being TrampCast. But yeah, it's a little bit performative just using that word. But there are people who visit homeless people and help homeless people and record it. But I only know of one other guy who is actually homeless and recording his story. And he's in America. He's in a vehicle. He's got his own car, and he's got money, and he works periodically as he moves around the country. So slightly different situations. I'm kind of lucky to be in the position I'm in. And I'm so lucky that the two ladies put together and bought me the phone to replace my destroyed stuff. Anyway, let's get on track. While we're just waiting for people to join, I'll burn a few more minutes, not too many, because I don't think many are going to join today. It's a bit of an ad hoc last minute kind of stream. But like I said, I've got a question left over from the other day that I didn't really cover about the getting to know you section. I am indeed a lucky hobo, Tina. That's correct. A fortunate tramp. So, an addendum then to not the thank you section, an addendum to the getting to know you section that we recorded the other day. And the question is about difficult lessons from past relationships. Tina. And I think I've learned a lot over the years. No way from that person, okay. I've learned a lot over the years. Relationships, they're difficult. When two people get together, they bring a lot of baggage with them. When you're young, as most people are in that situation, you bring a lot of baggage from your parents. You have ingrained habits. You have ways of doing things that might be unique to your household. I tell people a story of how me and somebody, we once had an argument about what order to wash the cutlery. A literal, full-blown, proper argument. Because she and her family had one way of doing things, and me and my family were just a bit more random about it all. And you just collide. You bring baggage with you, and you especially in those early days. And by early days, I mean the first 2 or 3 years. which to a lot of people is young people don't really get that you're still in the early days when you're 2, 3, 4 years in a relationship. You bring a lot of baggage. You have to learn to accept other ways of doing things, other people's approach. If somebody chooses to wash the teaspoons first and the other person washes all the cutlery at the end of the wash, no big deal. Let whoever's doing the washing decide how to approach things. Don't make a big deal out of silly little absurd things, because we all do that. We come in, we don't even realise we're doing it. Your family did things a certain way, and you do them that way. That's how you were taught when you were 3, 4, 5, when someone first showed you how to wash the dishes, how to put a new loo roll on the roller, how to do whatever. There's all these silly little petty nonsense things and different approaches. Does the loo roll dangle down next to the wall, or does it dangle down the other side, further, on the room side of the roller? Silly rubbish that doesn't matter a jot. Except if you do it the wrong way, you're just evil. We all bring our baggage, and you have to let go of that. You have to kind of let go of the small things, the minutiae, the stuff that doesn't matter. That's probably the number one thing I remember from the early days of relationships. You have different ways. Get used to the different ways. Compromise on the ways where it's where it's possible. Try it the other guy's way or the other girl's way. Just let it go. Like I said, whoever's washing the dishes, let them decide what order they're going to do them, and you just do the drying and shut up. It's no big deal. Are you drying them though, or are you just letting them stand and dry in the air? I don't know, folks. I'm hung up on the dishwashing, can you tell? Never had a dishwasher. Never actually, I was always the dishwasher. Well, we did them manually. It wasn't always me. It was always human. No mechanical stuff. I'm not cleaning dishes so that I can put them in the dishwasher. Okay, so that's my main takeaway from past relationships. I know the examples I've given are frivolous, but the principle holds. You got to let go of the minutiae. Accept, realize that you're coming into this with preconceptions, with hang-ups, with ways of doing things that you don't even realize other people might have a different way of doing. Relationships are difficult. Don't make them harder than they need to be. They don't need to be that hard. Don't add to the normal awkwardness that you get in those first 2, 3, 4 years of a relationship. You're in the early days, let it go. Here endeth the lecture. Okay, folks, as I said, that was just all of these little bits at the start of TrampCast are little sections I've added just to pad time while we wait and see if other people join us. I know these continuation streams never get the audience that the main Sunday night or Sunday afternoon stream gets. They're never going to. People are at work, people are busy. I throw these up like this week. It was due to be Monday, then Tuesday. I cancelled them, and here we are now. For the first time in 3 days, the wind has dropped. Not totally, he says as the wind just hits the microphone. Not totally, but the wind has dropped enough that I can do this. So okay, folks. I do just want to, and I will be doing this on the main stream on the main live stream on Sunday again. I'm going to do a little addendum to the. Okay, Tina, catch you later. I'm gonna do this again on Sunday, but for now, I do just have to thank a couple of guys for. Well, I guess I'm gonna thank 3 people because. Yeah, there's the ever-present one, Um, but I'm going to thank Barry for the interview last week, which has triggered so much. Got me from 420 something, 427, 428, up through 500, smashed through 500 subscribers, smashed through 550, smashed through 600, and somebody out there tell me, I on the screen I'm on, YouTube won't show me, and I'm only on a phone, I can't multitask, but I think I'm somewhere approaching 600. We're on 590, blah, blah, blah. Don't know what. Unless you've unsubscribed. Is that right? 641. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, sorry. I knew we were above 600. We smashed through 600. We're approaching 650. Sorry. See that? It's all happening so rapidly that I'm off by 50 and don't even know it. I don't know. Let's lose a couple now. Cheers to the subscribers. Sorry, Patrick. Alcohol. It is a celebration stream. Shut up. I do have coffee as well. Like I said, it's a celebration stream still. The party continues. But every time I lift a glass, I lose a couple. You can watch that. Patrick's probably just left. So yeah, Barry for the live stream. Yeah, salute with water. Thank you. Cheers. And if you're playing along at home, cheers. Drink. I don't know if any of you ever watch a guy called The Critical Drinker. Just film review. It's performative. He's not really a drinker, but he acts a character who's drunk, and his girlfriend Tatiana is Russian mail order bride. Okay, folks. So yeah, Barry, thank you so much for the interview last week and everything that spun off from that, and for bringing Andy round the other day with the food parcel. I don't know what the arrangement was between the two of you that brought him along with you, or that you came along with him. I don't know whether I don't know what the score is there, but however that happened, I am thankful for the food, for the plastic box. You know, I said you could have that back, but he said I can keep it. So that's a plus, because the plastic box that I've got the dog food in over here, the rats got in the other day. Don't know how. I'm not sure if they got in through one of the two holes on the side that I've got blocked off with chocks of wood, or whether they jumped up and over or climbed on something while the wind was blowing things around. They got in. I don't know how. I'm going to need a new storage place for the dog food shortly. I have options, but a nice new shiny plastic box is to the good. So that's Barry and Andy. Thank you both guys. And the other one, Karen. I said I was arguing with someone about a tent. Don't know all the details yet, but there is arguing going on. In a good way. Probably. I've offered, folks, to anyone out there who has donated cash, money, PayPal, my aim is to pay towards the tent. The tent that she's looking at, I don't think I could begin to afford outright. On the flip side, I'm not going to let somebody just buy me a whole brand new big tent. Brand new. Like the guys who got me this one, it was second hand, and it wasn't, I mean, it was a lot of money, but it wasn't a lot of money. What she's looking at, probably, I have no idea, she hasn't told me numbers, but so my PayPal receipts will be going in that direction, a substantial proportion of them, maybe all. I've set a percentage contribution. I'm not having someone buy me a whole brand new tent when I'm sitting with a little pile of cash. Is that the right word? PayPal funny money, monopoly money. It's not real until it's turned into actual notes and coins. Um, that sounds bad. That sounds like I'm putting down your contributions. That's not what I mean. I just can't do much with it until it is actually converted for me into cash, or I pass it to somebody else for them to spend on a tent, for example. So I think that's something that's in the offing, but I can't say too much because I had to tell her to shut up because I was coming to talk to you guys. I told her I didn't want any pinging while I was live streaming, because that's a common thing. Power up the live stream and have people start messaging me on Messenger or WhatsApp or some such. Or the other one that's the BBC News is the other one that comes up with some random news headline that doesn't matter. Okay, folks, that's my thank yous. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Andy, and thank you, Barry. And thank you guys for being here. If you haven't, then at least think about it. If you're one of the new guys, if you've come along after Barry's interview and everything last week, say hello in the stream, in the chat. I hate where they've moved the chat button to. I have to put my hand over near. Yeah, look, I'm waving my finger in front of the camera because of where the chat button is now located. Don't like it. Bad user experience. That's bad design. Used to be my thing, design, websites and things, but design's design. Functionality, things that can go wrong, anticipating. Putting this over here is just stupid. Okay, folks, shall we make a start on the real meat of the evening or afternoon or morning in Patrick's case? I think. Yeah, you might have just hold on. 6. Yeah, you're still morning. Yeah, 11:22. I think where you are, Patrick. Yeah, on the East Coast. Okay, folks, I'll give a quick summary of what went before. Sunday after the stream. I was cold. That's about it. I took the dog for a walk. I was cold. Fell asleep tinkering with settings on live streams and things. Monday, woke up, went for a walk with the dog. Had the hay fever continuing from the Sunday night, and sat down and rewatched TrampCast to make timestamps and start clipping out bits for release. You might have seen one this morning. This is how I knew it was hay fever. When every time I came outside, I got bunged up back there, but also running out here. Went inside and it cleared. In out. That was basically Monday. Yeah. Oh yeah, Monday I finished the day. That's where I was sat in bed eating a bunch of bananas last thing at night, because my Ukrainian friends brought me a shopping bag just full of bananas. That's right. He said there's a few bananas, and I said that's not a few bananas. That's a fucking plantation. Sorry, swearing again. I apologise. So that was Monday. The Tuesday, the quick summary for Tuesday. Oh, well, I was awake all the night, Monday into Tuesday. This is when I was with you, Patrick, in your live stream, and then I went quiet halfway through. Somewhere around 4, half 4, somewhere headed towards 5, I fell asleep. Not quite sure where or when. But yeah, that happened. Monday night into Tuesday morning. And of course, because I was awake all night, my dog obviously wanted to get up early. It was very late for me, my friend, yeah. But of course, falling asleep late means that my dog wants to get up early. Stupid early. Yeah. Falling asleep almost 5 and my dog's getting me up at half 6, 7, whatever that was. Took her for a walk, and that's when I went and tried to do a sunrise video. and it kind of worked, but there was a cloud in the way. Beautiful stuff, but then not the actual sun coming over the horizon. We missed on that one. In fact, I've tried three times lately. I've released two. I did another one a few days ago, but I keep being totally clear horizon, except for one little pillar of cloud coming up from the horizon, exactly where the sun's coming up. Fuck. These things are sent to challenge us. So yeah, I failed with the sunrise and I was very cold. I came back here, had a coffee with my mate who's camping under a tree in the back there. We got a second guy in this field now. Got to be careful, because there's another homeless guy walking past here. Got to be careful that we don't, attract too many, because then the neighbours will be complaining. Mostly they wave and they're friendly and they're nice, and occasionally they'll help me with water. Bought me a tarp once when I was really, really struggling. One family over here used to bring me a warm meal on a Sunday, once or twice a month. Used to, but I don't want to bring too much of a bad element. Putting myself down again, but you know what I mean. I don't want to cause them their properties to lose value. I don't want to cause them grief. Don't want them to be calling the police on us and giving us grief. It's a balancing act. You want to help people, you want to talk to people. The one guy who's walking past looks like he needs help. I almost gave him a hot meal a few days ago, but he looks like he's got money. He was walking to the petrol station for food or drink, so hesitant to intervene, although I am kind of in a position to. But it would possibly invite extra people into the field and bring bother boots bashing down on our heads maybe, or truncheons, batons, because they're like that. The Spanish police like to go hands-on, as I know to my detriment, and then blame you, because it's obviously your fault. You punched the guy so hard through his bulletproof vest that you bruised his chest. This one. Apparently. I must have one hell of a punch. Patrick, you've probably got a plate carrier. How hard would I have to punch you to bruise your chest while you're wearing? Doesn't really sound doable, does it? Doesn't really sound doable. Please. Okay, folks. So Tuesday afternoon is when. Hey, mate, will you be an expert witness in my court case then? Because that's what I'm charged with in the end. Yeah. So Tuesday afternoon, after all the dog walk and sitting and having a coffee with my mate along the way here, I'm in the tent, and this is where Barry arrives and interviews me, and that's the stream that I've linked to in a couple of places, and that's been the start of my fame and fortune. Thank you, Barry. Scottish couple in Spain. Give them a look, kick the tyres, see whether it's for you. Nice people. Nice people deserve to have nice things happen. That's what I need, mate. I need an interpreter as well, because in the court they only interpret the questions to you and your answers. Everybody else's backwards and forwards, you're left in the dark. You don't get to hear what's actually happening in your court case. You only get the direct questions, and then your answer gets translated back. Everything else is just left as a fucking mystery. That cannot. If that was put to the test as a legal case, that would fall. That's not how a court should behave. I'm in a foreign country. They do things different there. It's like the past. They do things different there. I don't want to denigrate my host nation too much. Okay, so Tuesday, the interview, and that's where after the interview, for some reason, I fall asleep at 5 in the evening and wake up at 8 o'clock at night. Do you think I'm going to sleep again that night after a 3-hour nap, waking up at 8? No. So I probably, here we go, folks. This is the start of the show proper. Tuesday night into Wednesday. This is where we left off. 12:30, midnight. You know, half an hour after midnight. Dog walk. Because she's like that. She's like that. And in the morning, glorious, glorious sunny day. And I go up at the crack of 9:15. Nice and early. Because having been awake all night, you always fall asleep somewhere around 6, 7, 8. You never actually stay fully awake. As the sun is due to come up, that's when you suddenly get tired, because sod's law. Okay, I'm playing with my phone. Hey Brendan, my friend, how you doing? I hope we're good. So Wednesday morning, I'm playing with my phone. If you remember, I've got a hard drive that's got some kind of minor glitch with the file allocation table. Comes up on the phone as being corrupt, and the phone offers me the one option of reformatting the hard drive. Rather than running some kind of check disk and correcting the error, it's not going to do that. It just wants to wipe the hard drive, and I'm not letting it. So I'm trying to shuffle things around and find stuff to delete and clear some space, because when you've taken some video clips and then you want to make a video, you need extra space for the new completed video. So I'm shuffling things around like crazy and trying to make the best of a bad job. And I click some more excerpts from I clip some more, you know, cuttings from the live stream from Sunday night's show, and turn them into little clips to release. And again, I come out and I have a couple of drinks, a couple of coffees with my pal along here. Calls himself Joby. I have no idea why. It's not his real name, but I'm going to use it because it's not my place to be doxing people, is it? So I make 3 of these little films, and I release 2 of them, and they take off all right. I think one of them gets off to a bit of a slow start, but things start to move. And this in the afternoon, after a couple more coffees, this is where things get interesting for me. Maybe not for you. You be the judge. I've released these clips, and my channel starts taking off. I find I've got 2 new subscribers, and an hour later I've got 2 more, and then I've got 3 more. And of course I'm convinced it's my new editing prowess. These new clips that I've released, they're bringing in a new audience, and everybody's subscribing. So I start digging in through the stats to see which video is bringing the new subscribers. And it's none of them. It's none of, and I'm puzzled. What the hell? And that's when I think, yesterday's interview. Oh, so I go and look, and yeah, he's released the interview. And as I'm monitoring, I see the numbers of views on his video, and I see the number of views, people coming over to my channel, and the number of subscriptions. And for a while, it's running at like a 1.5% conversion rate. For every 60 or so views he gets over there, I get a new subscriber here. And then for a proportion of those, I get a PayPal, a small PayPal donation. And so, mathematical brain, I'm working out percentages, and then I go and look and see how many views can we expect in total on his video when we're all done. And if we get 1.5% of that, and I start building curves in my mind and projecting, forecasting the future. Never works that way, guys. Never works. The early viewers of his video are more eager. They're more keen. they're more likely to follow the link to my site. I've thought about that, Brendan. I will try it next time, mate. I haven't got a sock to hand right at the minute. And it would be touching the screen, and my phone's been a bit iffy with touching the screen and suddenly not taking clicks and things. It's a little bit awkward. But I will try it. Where was I, folks? Can't remember. Hey, a clip on a mic would be nice. I just haven't got one, and until now I didn't have the money to buy one. I could actually wander over to the Chino Bazaar and buy a cheap one. I would be taking potluck, Chinesium. I don't know. Maybe if there's recommendations on a brand and I could buy something, maybe I could buy something from Temu. Thank you, Brendan. There we go. Mathematical mind and graphs, projecting off into the future. The early viewers of his channel are going to be the people who are waiting for videos, the ones that are watching daily, and the ones who straggle along later are a little bit less inclined. So you get a higher click-through rate from those first viewers than the ones that come later. Okay, Brendan, I'll take a look. So I gave up on model. I knew that my initial projections, you know, it's just the way I am. It's the maths thing, guys. It's just me. I don't know if I'm on the spectrum for some kind of autism or ADHD or something. I think it's not impossible. There are a few telltale signs. I'm not always the quickest at picking up on other people's signals and moods and things. I'm not blind to it. Sometimes I just need to be hit over the head with a hammer to guess certain things. I don't know if this is all blokes. Like if a lady's interested, I got no idea. They have to just say, look, are you going to kiss me or what? It's that. I got no fucking clue. So I don't know whether that's just a man thing. I don't know if that's autism and the spectrum. But then the man thing and the spectrum go together, don't they? Was it 7 times more likely in males than females to be on the spectrum? Something like that. Anyway, folks. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, Wednesday afternoon and the numbers start increasing and are we there? I lost the connection. I don't know whether you did. Somebody just give me a thumbs up and tell me that you're all still here. Just okay, we're back. What was I saying? Oh God, I lose it so easily. Okay, yeah, my arrogance. I thought the numbers going up were me. Yeah, Amazon wishlist, Patrick, it's not so much of a thing. People over this side of the pond don't really know what they are. And then we've got which Amazon? Amazon Spain, Amazon UK, Amazon.com. They don't necessarily flow one to the other. And I did used to maintain a list, but I found I was maintaining a list of things and putting stuff up, you know, removing stuff and adding it, and I'd never had a single item purchased from me from an Amazon wish list. I went back through videos and removed the link, to be honest. It just, people this side of the pond don't know what an Amazon wish list is, and especially when you make one public for other people to buy it for you. I'm also not sure if I'd end up doxing myself with my full name. I don't know whether the people who buy it get to see my full name, and because of the delivery, I have to show a passport or some form of ID to receive the delivery. And my address is literally the guy in the tent in the middle of the field, Cala de la Thora, Vixen's Cove, or Prostitute's Cove, if you want to be, if you want to read it that way. It's not the best address ever. The guy in the tent in the field. And now I'm not even the only guy in a tent in the field. So there's that. Yeah. So what I said, my arrogance thought that the numbers picking up was me and my editing and my genius idea of releasing clips from the main stream, from the live stream. But it wasn't that. It just wasn't. Although that played into things. Yeah. That played into things. I think as the initial rush of people from the other channel subsided, the fact that I'd got these clips and the main show behind them did maintain the flow for a while. And then one of my videos that had sat there for 6 days doing nothing, the one where I said thank you to a lady called Louise who brought me a bag of food the week previous, or the weekend previous, so almost 2 weeks ago now. The video had sat there doing nothing after the initial 24 hours. It just died. Suddenly, after 6 days, it picks up and that starts to run. So yeah, Wednesday was interesting, and also after sitting out here and chatting with Milado over the way, I went into the tent, and I had to get onto the bed funny because Tina was messing about. I couldn't get, I had to do something weird, and I put my arm on the bed and shuffled across, and a few seconds later I felt this itch on my arm. And when I looked, there was this bloody spider half the size of my hand. Not quite that big, but about half, like the biggest spider I've seen while I've been here. I saw another one the same size late the same day inside the tent as well, so I've got to be careful. Spider bites can be a little bit iffy. I don't think we have anything there's nothing like, they're not tarantulas and they're not black widows or anything. But spider bites can get infected, can't they? Because it's not really a venom that they inject. It's a digestive juice. They inject the prey with digestive juices that start to, and then they come back and suck the molten. Yeah. Okay, we won't go any further with that, but that's how spiders work. So you don't want spider bites if you can avoid it. But there I am with this bloody great big thing set on my arm. I'll get my phone and skew it off and just help it out of the tent. I left it alive, unlike the poor blackbird the other morning. We'll get to that next week, Sunday. So yeah, that basically, that's my, we sat and had another coffee later on, and we walked Tina, me and Joby, and as we're walking her, there's this helicopter. It circled a bit and then it hovered over the sea, and we stood and watched it for about half an hour. And I'm not sure whether this was a real rescue, whether it was a practice, or it might even have been some kind of interdiction, like an interception of drug smugglers or illegal immigrants. We've had those pull up on the beaches here in the past. They're usually further south, but it's not unheard of. But there was something. The helicopter's there, and the guys on the end of the winch, and people are being lifted up. I've got the footage. I don't think it's that visible. It's not, it's a cheap phone. It's not the greatest camera, and working in the dark, you can see a light shining down, and you can see some movement. But even my eyes couldn't see that much, so I've got no idea what my phone's actually picked up. Like I said, it was running low on space, so I haven't. Oh, fuck! Sorry, I punched the table somehow. Take that. So yeah, they're interesting. But we stood there, but it was cold. But we stood there watching this. Don't know what it was. I haven't seen anything in the news. I haven't looked particularly. But I don't know whether it was an interception of something. I don't know whether it was a genuine mayday, whether it was a practical, whether it was a test. Because the vehicle that they were coming down to had a blue flashing light on the back. Orange rubber dinghy with a blue flashing light. whether that's a distress signal that Joe Public would use, or whether that means it was actually an official police or Coast Guard or something vehicle, I've got no idea. No tengo ni idea, as somebody might say. Not me, because I don't speak a lingo. So that brings us to a close on Wednesday, I think. I can quote some numbers for where we were at. 9 o'clock at night, we were on 450 Men in Black UFOs, yeah. Some predator mites to seek. Okay. So, 9 o'clock at night, we were on 450 subscribers. Like I said, we started the day on 420 something, maybe 426, 427 or 428 maybe. But at 9 o'clock, we were up to 450. 11 o'clock, 460. And at midnight, 465. And so to bed and to sleep. Until my little lady here decided that 4 o'clock was the time to do the thing. 4 o'clock. She's been doing this a little bit frequently lately. I don't know what's wrong with her. Might just try that, Patrick. I might just try that. A bit of UFO, publish it as UFO footage. Yeah, I could try that. Even if I did it jokingly, like as a spoof type of thing. Maybe. So, Thursday morning, we're on 465. And I wake up. And again, I carry on making these predictions about... Tina, shush, there's nobody there, I don't think, darling. Carry on making predictions about where we're going to end up with the numbers. I can't stop myself, guys. I can't stop. I'm going to, in future, I'm going to follow Patrick's advice, which is to set specific times for checking these things. They could well be, Brendan. They could well be here, mate. I'm not a proponent of the lizard people stuff, though. That's a little bit too out there for me. The distances involved, scientists will tell you the distances involved make it unlikely that we have visitation here, but I don't know. Scientists don't know everything. We're still arguing about whether the speed of light is an absolute, whether it changes over time, whether it can actually be bypassed in some way. Lots of questions around that. Tina, can we have a bit quiet, darling? Let's have a bit quiet. There's nobody there. There's nobody there. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Basta. Sufficiente. Sufficiente. Come on. Oh. Here we go. Where am I? Thursday morning, folks. We're up to Thursday. Let's get this done. Otherwise it's going to go dark. Again. We'll have to come back tomorrow and carry on again. Guys, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, please think about it. And bear in mind, once you start watching, you're not allowed to leave. You have to stay to the end. I've got above the 500 subscribers. I now need to get the number of watch hours up because we got here too early. We got here months ahead of schedule. So now I've got to get the watch hours up so that I can unlock some of this YouTube goodness. You are not allowed to leave until we finish. So this is where I start to think on Thursday that we might hit 500 that day. Starting at 465. I've got it in mind that it could happen. Maybe. Possibly. If we're looking, if things carry on as they're going. But remember, I'm making a prediction based on inflated numbers in that initial period. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate it. For anyone who's watching and hasn't activated the chat, or if you're watching on the replay later, you need to activate the chat replay. so that you can follow up. I'm commenting back to people who are chatting to me. You need to hit those buttons and bring up the chat. Otherwise, you're only going to get my side of the conversation. Because I'm really poor at reading out their side and then answering. I need to practice. I'll get better, folks. Stick with me. I'm on a journey. So here we go. Coffee and things with Milado down the way. Have an afternoon rest because, you know, it's Spain, isn't it? And I've got a big bunch of, not just a bunch, I've got a bag full of bananas that need eating. So I'm not sitting down and eating a banana. I sit down to eat bunches of bananas, a bunch at a time. 3, 4, 5 bananas. I think I've misplaced one somewhere in the tent and I haven't got to it yet. Need a clear out, which will be coming soon. The first day we get without wind, we had a bit this morning, and I got off to a slow start with other things, but we'll get there. We'll get there, and we'll get to the fishing as well, Patrick, because I know you're going to mention it sooner or later. The fishing is wheels are in motion. Multiple wheels in multiple different directions, which could clog the machine up. That's the thing, Brendan. There are 2 possibilities. Either we're entirely alone in the universe, or we're not, and they're both equally frightening. That might have been, what's he called? The American guy that did the TV series. The guy who put the plaque on Voyager. Carl Sagan. Might have been. Yeah, I just need to check a few things, but I'll be okay with rods, and we've got movements in the direction of getting fishing rods from some of my new friends and some of my older friends. Like I said, multiple possibilities. I would say I should put my teeth in, but I haven't got any. I do, they're in a bag in there, but I never use them. Not since COVID anyway. Okay, eating bananas. Oh, shopping on Temu. Temu. How are you pronouncing it? I think they say Temu, don't they? If I was reading that word, I would say Timu, just from the letters. They say Temu. Got to go with them. They know how to say their own name, presumably. But I was looking on there because Joby was asking about a solar panel and a battery type setup and how much that would be. Lad's got a little bit of money left still. I was also looking on there for fishing gear, but I think that's been superseded by other, like I said, wheels in motion. But I spent the afternoon wish listing on Temu. I don't think they actually do a wish list. I do it by adding to the cart and then just ignoring it. When you come back to finalise an order, you can pick which ones you actually want, and so it's just like a wish list. And then I came outside and I cooked a chicken flavoured vegetable curry, which is just a vegetable curry with chicken stock cubes, because meats had to come by. Didn't have the pennies for meat. Rarely, occasionally. But that might not be an issue anymore, or in the short term. Zenu. Then we're with the other bunch, aren't we? What are they called? With the oh god, yeah, panspermia and all that. I can't remember who the one of those out there cults. I can't remember their name, but they're very litigious. I'm not getting there. I'm not getting into religious arguments. Scientology. Okay, that's them. That's them. Remind me, are they the Wizard of Oz bunch? The, what was he called? L. Frank Barnes. Something like that. He even declared beforehand that the real money is in religion, and then goes off and sets one up. And nobody sees the difficulty in that. I'm not getting involved. I am not getting involved. If Tom Cruise comes after me, it's your fault. Oh, I missed someone saying first time. Hold on. One to fish. First time seeing you. Good luck with your journey. Thank you very much, my friend. Always nice. Anybody, if you're here for the first time, say hello in the chat. Let me get familiar with your names, usernames, handles, whatever you're going by. Good to see you here. And I need to click here now and go back to the... This YouTube app really is atrocious. But, Chicken flavoured vegetable curry. It was good as well. And I was still eating it, I think 4 days later. I made it on the Wednesday and I was still eating it on the Saturday and Sunday, I think. Won't get that many days out of food from now on as it starts to get warmer around here. We'll get to the point where it's eat it that day or it's bad. If you cook it late in the evening, you can get halfway through the next day in summer, but stuff just doesn't last long. Pretty quickly you have to turn the whole pan full over at the dog. Unless I can get an EcoFlow Delta and an EcoFlow Glacier. I'm kidding. Unless we can do a deal with EcoFlow. Get me a solar generator or power station, whatever they're calling themselves nowadays. One of those and a camping fridge that makes ice. EcoFlow, you're my favourite of all of these different brands. If you want a real world test, if you want it put through its paces, not for a day, not for a weekend, not for some poxy little camping trip, if you want it putting through its paces by a real man living in a fucking field, I'm here for you. Nice idea, Brendan, except bedrock. I'm living on top of the cliffs almost. I'm next to the sea, nearly. There's no digging down in reality. These trees roots only go down a foot or so. And that's over there, not here, because bedrock. Tent pegs, you can't get them into the ground more than 3 or 4 inches in half the spots. It's Spain. Their land is like it's like builder's rubble. Even where it's loose loose rock, and then it's hard bedrock underneath. Looking for the sponsorships. So EcoFlow, come on, let's put your gear through a real test. I'm a man living in a field. I've been here in this specific field for 16 months, nearly 17 maybe. Can't do the maths right now on the spot. For once. But here's my pitch, EcoFlow. Here's my pitch to you. It's not overnight in a nice tent on a campsite with an electric supply, power supply. There's no outlets. That's why I need your Delta, or Delta Pro, or Delta Pro 2. Who am I kidding? I'd take an EcoFlow River if that's as high as you'll go. But one of those in your fridge to get me through summer. We're in Spain. My tent last year was 50 degrees through the day, Celsius. That will be, let me convert in my head, double, knock off 10%, makes us 90, plus 32, 122 degrees Fahrenheit through the day in summer. Give me your fridge, let's put it through a real test. with a solar panel and a power station. Okay, that's enough begging. I'm not begging. It's a sponsorship deal. Me and my massive army of subscribers. Come on, EcoFlow. Go for it. Take a chance. Do it. I'm here for you. Real world test. Forget about hobo tech. He goes camping in an RV for a week or two at a time. I'm the real deal. Come on. All right, Brendan, I'll look into it. Although I don't want stuff that shines for the police because they give me grief. The last time I put up a new tent, they were here within 36 hours, giving me the grief. Okay, refrigeration engineer. Okay. Have you ever looked at the EcoFlow glacier? Just want to check. EcoFlow, I'm doing it. I'm pitching for you. Come on, I'm pushing them. Let's get the demo model sent out here. Okay, folks. Okay, let's get back on. That's enough of the grift. That's enough of the grift. Let's get back on with the job at hand. Chicken flavoured curry, wasn't it? Okay, and I gave Milado. He's been struggling. He bought a power bank over the way here at the Chino Bazaar, and we'll charge it up, and it'll light up all 4 lights, and then he plugs things in, and the lights just go out. So I gave him a boost. I plugged him in on my system over here, and gave him some power to get him through a few days. So that happened. But another time I've done the same, and it did the same. His power disappeared before his very eyes. So one time it worked and he got a few days out of it. Another time he plugged the thing in and it just whoop, gone. Chinesium. Okay. Thursday night. So I didn't mention on Wednesday. On Wednesday night I heard rustling down the side of the tent. I've stepped back. We were on Thursday, but I've stepped back. Wednesday there was rustling outside the tent, but not in. Thursday night, we're back up to date. Something in the tent. Not in my bedroom, fortunately, but out here. Out in the part where I store food and things, equipment. And I heard the rustling and I thought, I'll shout, I'll make it go away. So I shouted, no, rustling as in noise, something scurrying in the bushes. My friends are rodents. So I shout, and the instant I shout, clank, clank, bang, the big trap, the rat trap, goes off. And then the silence, and then the scurrying. Lots of scurrying. And I paused because I think it's death throes. I think we've got one and it's dying. So I don't want to watch that. I've learned not to rush too quickly to the traps after they go. And I opened the door and nothing. The trap it had been triggered obviously, but nothing. The scurrying, the trap's they've triggered it, but it's either missed or they've got away. And it sounded like there must have been 2 from the amount of noise, and they've run out of the tent. They've run away. And I think I'm glad I don't like picking up the dead bodies from the traps. Not if I can avoid it. If I can shout at them and make them go away. Like yesterday morning, I'm breaching the rules now because I'm telling you about this week during last week's show. I had a little mouse, tiny little thing, come into the bedroom yesterday morning, and it kind of startled me. It took me by surprise. It hopped over there's a little skirt, a little threshold, would be the word, I guess, to get into the bedroom of the tent, and it had jumped over and landed there and stood still. And it was the movement that caught my eyes initially, and when I looked I couldn't focus. I couldn't see what I was looking at until he moved his head, and I just sat up and shouted like hell. And he jumped. No, a skirt as in a like a 4 or 5 inch edging, a plastic sheet around the bottom of the doorway. And he jumped over, he'd moved his head and I'd shouted, and he literally just jumped back over and out the door and hopefully away. I'd rather I scare them away than they end up dead in a trap. Even though they're vermin, they're not that bad. I've had them inside the bedroom, the mice. I've had them inside the bedroom. They're too quick to catch, so in the end you just sit back in bed and let them root about. There was nothing for them to find, so they went and eventually they left. Sometimes they've walked into a trap. There was one time the rat trap was in the bedroom and it went off, caught 2 mice at once. If they die, they die. I'd rather they don't. I'm not out for blood. I'm a townie. This is what I said to the guy earlier when I got the veg wrong in the today's video. I don't know what I'm looking at with half these vegetables. They have vegetables here that I've never had. But yeah, hat trick. It's good. 2 mice in one trap in one snap. It's not good. I don't like it, but I don't like having 2 mice running around in my bedroom either. So there's that. So this Thursday night movement in the tent, and we didn't get them. They scared them away. But Friday, I'll get to Friday because it gets bad. We'll get there. We start Friday morning, well, midnight Thursday night into Friday on 488 subscribers. We didn't make it to 500. And things start to slow. The initial onslaught slows. It's been a day and a half. It's getting slower. Tina doesn't bother with the mice and rats. She just sits there and lets them get on with it. If a cat comes in this field, she goes crazy and chases the bloody cat away. Dogs and cats and dogs, She sits there and she'll chase the rats if I chase them. She joins in with me. It's like I'm a better dog than she is. Something she's useless at. Hey babe, Daddy's a better dog than you are. I have to chase. If I throw a ball, I have to go bring it back. She'll often go and get the ball, pick it up, run over somewhere else with it and drop it. And I have to go and get the ball. So then I get the treat. Hey babe, Daddy's your hero. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice cuddle, thank you. That's a lovely cuddle. So okay, where are we? Friday morning, the onslaught is slowing from the influx of visitors from the other site. It's still there, but it's slowing. We didn't make the 500, but I'm expecting to hit it. I'm hoping to hit it by midnight Friday night. We got that. Just a spoiler. So first thing in the morning, just after, probably just before light, maybe an hour before light, out of nowhere, wind. Not in the forecast, not nothing. Just total shake the tent, feel like it's going to take off. Check the weather forecast. The weather forecast says nothing. 2 minutes later, rain. Check the weather app. I've just been in it. Surely I would have noticed if it said rain. 0% chance of rain. No precipitation today at all. That's funny. Because it rained for 2 flaming hours. 2 hours. And the weather forecast still said no rain. I've got to learn to look over here, not over here. I'm looking at me, not at you. Got to learn that. I've got to get better at that. But there I am, in a tent that's buffeting me. The side of it's banged the back of my head. I'm slouched down so as not to be too high and proud and have the lean of the tent, not to have it batter my head too much. And what can I do? It's windy, it's rainy, it's a crap day. I lay in bed and I watch the numbers because that's my brain. predicting, I'm doing projections. We should make 500, we should do it by midnight. We should do it by midnight. And this is where one of the shorts that I'd released started to go. Sometimes I release one of these shorts, these 60-second videos, these 60-second clips. I'm not a fan of them. I don't like the short form content. But YouTube push it, and they're forever telling me about how it builds the audience. And what I've noticed in the past is if I release a short that does well, I get the audience, I get the new members signing up, subscribing, until I release my first video of a guy sat in a tent while it's raining, or of a guy cooking in a field. Then they wonder what the hell they're watching and why, and they leave, they unsubscribe. Or worse, they stay as a subscriber but just never ever watch anything, which is a bad signal in Google stroke YouTube's eyes. If you've got a large subscriber base that never actually watch your channel, what does that say? It's not good. So yeah, but I do this video and it starts to take off, and the numbers start picking up again. Hold on, let me just catch Patrick. If you don't like shorts, don't do them. I know, mate, I know, but sometimes things get stagnant. If all YouTube is doing is showing your videos to people who've already subscribed, you don't grow your audience. Sometimes you just got to put it in front of a different audience. You get a higher percentage of subscribers from people who've never seen you before. You get 0 new subscribers from people who are already subscribed. It's, I don't know, mate. Sometimes you got to play the game. Don't like it, but that's reality sometimes. I applaud your resolute stand on this issue, but I don't know. Sometimes you just got to get seen by new people. It seems to be how the game is played. That's what they're pushing. That's what they want. Who am I to argue? They are my lords and masters. Yeah, this is it. But the ones who just want shorts do tend to just unsubscribe after a while or leave. Tom in Shetland, hello, my friend. Nice to see you back. Okay, here we go, folks. We're in the closing stages of Friday night, or Friday. Usual daily routine, and I'm just watching the numbers, and it's not a great day. One of the shorts is running and doing well. Oh, it's the bow down to your YouTube masters. Kind of, yeah. Bend over and take it. Touch your toes. I'm not going to say anymore. The video that's doing well, the video that did well, is my thanks a ton to a gentleman called Mick who gave me a phenomenal PayPal donation the week before, or the weekend before. I don't know whether ton translates in other countries. In British slang, and I kind of got to explain this because I actually got quite a few downvotes on that video, because I think people watched it and didn't take the hint, didn't know, so they got to the end and didn't understand what had happened. So when I say thanks a ton, it both means thanks a lot, and a ton is slang for 100. I don't know why, but in cricket, you score a century, you got your ton. I think maybe a ton is made up of 20 100 weights in old measures. A 100 weight was a subdivision of a ton. Might be something to do with that. But anyway, this guy gave me a phenomenal donation. Damien, hello. Monkey's a different amount, isn't it? I can't remember I don't remember all of the monkey. 50 or 500? I don't remember all of the slang because I was a youngster. These things went out of vogue a long time ago. Monkeys and ponies, and I remember some of them, not all of them. So anyway, yeah, Friday, where are we? The video's running wild, it's doing really well. We're bringing, the subscribers are pouring in. faster than ever. And at precisely 22:22. For those of you that don't do military time and subtracting 12 is too difficult, yes, America, I'm looking at you. That is 10:22 p.m. I'm only joking, Patrick. It's banter, mate. It's banter. At 22:22, 22 minutes past 10 at night, we hit the 500 mark, and I start celebrating. And I post out, woohoo! You know, we've made it. Karen sends me a little gift, and Karen sends me a little PayPal donation for celebratory drinky poos. And immediately thereafter, some bugger unsubscribes, and I'm back down to $4.99. Just as I'm celebrating and telling everyone how marvellous I am and how we hit 500. And then somebody subscribes and tells me how, and we're back up to 500. Then we hit 501, and I'm contacted by someone saying, I'm subscriber number 500. And I'm thinking, maybe you're 501? Maybe you're the second 500, because of the guy subscribing and then either him or someone else unsubscribing and the numbers drop. I'm not being the arbiter of who is number 500. 500 happened, and I'm glad, and you're all welcome. Somebody came up with a name early on of Delta Mike's Mob. I don't know, maybe we'll go with that. Maybe we'll go with that. But whatever we are, we come up with some collective noun or something. We'll come up with some name. But we did it. We did it just before 10:30 on Friday night. And at the same moment that someone unsubscribed, and we dropped down to $4.99, movement, and not just movement, surrounded. I can hear two rustling in the bushes beside the tent. I can hear one or two ahead, further down, like around the front of the tent, and I can hear something trying to get into the plastic box where the dog food is stored. I kid you not, all at once, somewhere between 4 and 6 of the rodents, and not the little ones. You don't hear the little ones. The little ones they can be in the room with you, and unless they fall or drop, you don't hear them. It's the big ones. The big ones don't give a damn. The rats do not care whether you know that they're there. They seem to want you to know that they're there. They're just so I'm shouting, I'm banging on the side of the tent to try and scare the ones away down the side, and I put my head torch on, get to the doorway of the tent and turn it off, and I come out, and I look down, and I start kind of creeping stealthily along, and I can hear them nearby, and I flick the torch on, and there's two there next to the box, two, and they scarper in opposite directions, because they're clever little buggers. They are not daft. I have an admiration for their intelligence. I mean, I have a revulsion. I hate them. But I have a nagging kind of respect for them. You got to know your enemy, and you grow to respect your enemy. So one runs that way, one runs that way, and I'm not going to catch him. But I've got a big, like a fence post, and I'm stabbing it in the ground at random over here, roughly where he went. And I figure I'm not going to get him, but I can frighten him. I can scare him away. If the pole lands next to his head, he's going to maybe think it's not worth the effort and stay away. I'm trying to think what he's thinking. I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of Rattus, of the family Rodentia. I do this for a couple of minutes, and I decided to come back into the tent, and on the way back in, I'm trying to tell Tina to stay and stay on the bed and not come out. And on the way back in, I decided to check the battery box, because I still haven't had the mythical 4 lights. Still not happened, except for when the sun's directly on the panels. So I go to check the battery box and lift the lid. And while I'm there, something black moves next to the battery box. And for a moment, I hesitate because I think it's Tina. I think she's got out of bed, off the bed, and maybe she stuck her paw through the doorway. So I don't smack it one like I should have. I paused. And it's the bugger, when there were two of them, and one went one way and one went the other, he circled back around, the little bastard. He's in my tent, and he's right next to me inside the fucking doorway. Little bugger. My hand was like right next to him. I meant the battery, he's right there. There can't have been more than 3 inches. Translate 3 inches. 8 centimeters. There can't have been. He was right there, the little bugger. So I bring the rat trap out of the tent because I'm not having this. I'd got 2 mouse traps inside the bedroom, and I'd got the rat trap in the outer part of the tent. I bring the rat trap out next to where the dog food is, next to the box for the dog food, and I bring the 2 mouse traps out of the bedroom and in the vestibule, the outer part of the tent where my food is stored, mainly in plastic boxes to be away from them. Some things are up high in drawers, and some things are my veg, potatoes, onions, carrots is just in a shopping bag. It's just out in the open because they've shown no interest in any of that at any time, and it's going to be boiled so there's no risk of any contaminant because it's going to be cooked. You put something in 100-degree water and it's safe no matter what. But I settle back down. This night, this was a battle. It was a war. There was multiple battles. I settled back into bed, and I kid you not, they wait about 15 minutes, and then I can hear the buggers back outside scratching at this box. And I come out again, get to the door, turn the light off, sneak out, turn the light on, and there's 2 of them again, right next to the fucking rat trap. They're right next to it. If I'd stayed in, they might have bloody triggered it. I might have stopped them from triggering it. Anyway, off this scurry, I chase them. I get the big fence pole again, and I'm smacking the ground and trying to stab them, and I kick one. I kick him under a bush, and he comes out the other side, and I run around the bush, and I stamp on him. And I get him, but only on the back end, like the tail and backside. And he squishes and he hesitates for a while. He turns and looks at me and runs off. Little fucker. I'd say he turned and laughed at me. Bastard. He laughed at me. I told you, there's an admiration thing going on here. I kicked him and I stamped on him, and he turned and laughed at me and ran away. Fucker. So you'd think they've been chased away twice. One of them might be injured, maybe. You think they'd give it a rest. No. All they do, so they've waited, the initial incident happened, they waited a quarter of an hour, they came back. This time, they wait almost an hour, and then they come back, and they have another go. And I kid you not, got this box, it's maybe 18 inches high, 50 centimetres for you metric folk, roughly, maybe just a little bit less. It's got a couple of holes in the sides, but there's wood inside and it chocks behind it, wooden blocks pushing them flush against the outside so they can't get in. The lid is kind of broken and bust. The plastic's all breaking because of ultraviolet, but unless there's something against it, I think they can't get in. Leave it an hour. I've got rustling down the side of the tent, at the front of the tent, and then I can hear something I hear a noise with this plastic, and I hear more noise than before. And I come out, and I see one run away. But I hear a noise inside the box. Honest to God. I lift one edge of the lid. Like I said, it's flexible. It's kind of snapping in the middle under its own weight. But I lift one edge, and I can see the tail. I see the tail, and I see a little bit of the back end. You imagine them to be dirty animals, don't you? And I know they poo and piss wherever they go. Whenever they're eating, that's kind of automatic. They've got no say in that. But their bodies, they're very well kept. They're very clean. It surprised me. It wasn't. I'm looking at him. I'm up close and personal. The bugger's right there under the lid. And I get this fence post and I stab it in, and I smack him on the back, somewhere around the tail. But I pull my punches a bit because I don't want to be puncturing the bag of dog food and making things worse. And so I've lifted this lid off, put it down, and I've gone for the stab. He thinks he's hidden under this. I got a weight in there holding the end of the bag down, in case anything gets in, and not make it easy for them. It's a bit of a tree branch kind of in there, kind of bit of a log, and he's under the log, and he's back and I stick this fence post in, heavy and hard, but pull my punch a little bit, and the bugger, he just leaps. You would not believe how far he leapt. He jumped clean out of this box and landed under a bush, 1.5 meters. That's 5 feet roughly for you Imperial guys. See what I'm doing? I'm doing the conversions both ways. Honestly, he jumped 1.5 meters from a standing start in the box. No run up because he's in a box. Standing start. I could not believe what I saw. It's like watching Superman or something, or those, those flying tree squirrel things that spread their wings and glide. Bugger was like that. I've got a grudging admiration for the little buggers, but not when they're eating my dog's food, not when they're rooting around in my tent. So yeah, that happened. I couldn't sleep for a while after that. It was like an ongoing battle throughout the late night, early morning. Oh, rats. Yeah. Throughout all this, the wind carries on. We got, the winds that day started in the morning. We just went relentless. It's been windy all week, really, from last Thursday or Friday when this started through till what, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock this afternoon. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do this second half of the TrampCast. Postponed it twice in the week, the Monday and the Tuesday one, because the weather, it's just been windy. So yeah, so here we go. As I fall asleep, we're on 505 subscribers, and I wake up in the morning on 505 subscribers, thinking it's all over. It's not. As the world wakes up, as the European side of the pond wake up and people start, doing their internet stuff, it picks up again. And in particular, this video from a week earlier, where I thanked Louise for the food, for the bag of food she brought over. This is a lady who said that her fridge had broken down. She was getting a new fridge, but none of the food that she brought over was kind of refrigerable, or refrigeratorable. Still doesn't sound right. I looked it up last time, didn't I? But the food she brought over wasn't from a fridge, but I think she was saying that having the broken fridge had forced her to reorganise her cupboards, and then she had a clear out and brought me some bits and pieces. So this video that had sat there and done very little for the week just ran and ran, and it was really taken off. So as the influx from the other guy's site, from Barry's YouTube channel, as that was drying up, my videos were picking up and running on their own, and it ended up, I think it's the third or fourth video I've had that got more than 1,000 views, and it's the first one to do it in a week or 8 days. I think it took in total. That's the fastest I've had one reach 1,000, because it's a small channel still, guys, and it's quite niche, as I hope you realise. Not everybody wants to know about a tramp and his battle with rodentia. Ratus. Quite niche. Never going to be a big channel. Not that big anyway. So here we are, we're on Saturday, and I decided to make some egg butties for me and my laddo in the field here. I had quite a few spare eggs. I'd had quite a bit of bread. At one point I got down to half a loaf of bread, and I went out and bought another loaf. This would be like the weekend before, and then my Ukrainian friends arrived and brought like 3 loaves of bread and lots of other bits and pieces. So I spent the week trying to get through my bread before it goes too bad. I don't have to worry. Sliced white loaves from a supermarket. Here's a tip for you guys. They last forever. They do not go off. As long as they don't get too hot, don't, keep them cool-ish, or as cool as you can in a tent that gets to 30, 40, 50 degrees. Keep them cool. Baguettes go stale. Bread buns go mouldy, go bad. So if you've got a choice, prioritize your bread buns, then your baguettes. You can always use the stale baguettes as dumplings or something in a soup, or as croutons. And your sliced whites will just sit there forever. Experiment, try it, see if I'm right. Supermarket sliced white loaves do not go bad. Nothing in nature will touch them. The rats and the mice don't touch them. That tells you something, guys. That tells you something. Nothing in nature touches them, not even mould. It's unbelievable. What I've learned about food living in this field. I used to put my loaf of bread in the fridge to make it last longer. Not necessary. Sliced white does not go bad. I've literally eaten one that was a month old, and there's 0 refrigeration, and that was in summer. I'm not recommending it, but I'm saying it's possible, it's doable. Even the rats and the mice don't touch that shit. So anyway, I make these egg butties for me and my mate here, and we sit out and have coffee and enjoy the Saturday. Those winds are still there, and yeah, shopping plus beer plus sitting out, not necessarily in that order. Those are my notes until sundown. But as soon as the sun goes down, fucking cold. In fact, right now, the sun is. I went to the wrong side again for the camera switch button because they moved it. The sun is. You see it over there? The sun is just going down behind that building. And the moment it does, it'll get bloody cold here. Let's bring you back and switch back. Put the camera back where it belongs. So cold. So I decide, I've got this curry, remember, from Wednesday. I've been eating egg butties and things while I've got a cauldron full of curry still. So Saturday night I grab a bowl full cold. I eat from my pan. I can't show you because I'm. Shall I show you my setup? Go on, a bit of inside baseball, as you Americans might say. This pan here is my eating bowl. This is my main eating utensil. Obviously the other way up, but I'm using it here as a stand to give me some elevation, so that the camera isn't looking up my nose too much. I haven't got the fancy setup. I haven't got Studio B, Patrick. Don't have multiple studios and multiple cameras. None of your shenanigans here. And yes, 720p I think is the maximum. I think I might have released something earlier that was 1080. I tried anyway. I think I've got a few gigabytes to spare data-wise this month. But cold pan of curry in bed. That was my supper. So Sunday morning I wake up and We've powered ahead. We're on 549 at 7 in the morning. Sunday morning. And I want to watch my one of my programs, a program called Flashcast. I think I've mentioned before. It's where I got the name for this. This bloke's called Flash. There's a program called Flashcast. I'm a tramp, so I went with TrampCast. I got it here, guys. I got it. But I failed. I keep missing his program. It starts at like 5 in the morning, and I try and watch it, but I miss it. I woke up, like I said, woke up at 7 this time. I caught the back end. I caught like an hour or so, or maybe half an hour of the show. But I probably kept nodding off. I kept falling back asleep. So I took Tina for a quick walk. Breakfast. Curry. Cold curry for breakfast. Because if I cooked it on Wednesday, and it's now Sunday morning, if I don't finish it, it's going to be getting ripe soon, isn't it? Can't afford to be wasting food. Cannot be wasting food. So Sunday I polished it off. I finished off the last of that. Not a lot more to say, guys, because Sunday, as you know, is TrampCast in the afternoon. So what do I have to do? I have to spend about 3 hours prepping. Shown you before, yeah? My notes. I have to copy them from. They're on the phone to begin with, but I have to write them out nice and small so they fit on one page. Do my research for the numbers. Decide on questions to ask for the getting to know you section. List my thank yous, because what I found, PayPal only tells me about half the donations I receive. They send an email. My phone doesn't auto check for emails because I'm saving bandwidth. So I have to go in and manually say, get me my emails, get me my emails. But PayPal's supposed to flash up an alert when I get something. It's only telling me about half of them. So when I went in on Sunday to get the list, I was seeing donations and from people and names of people that were entirely new to me that I'd not seen. It's a bizarre thing to find that you've sat there for 2 or 3 days with donations that you not only didn't know about, but obviously haven't responded to. That's not good. I want to at least say thank you to people, and if they've stipulated what it's for, at least make a note of what it can and can't be used on, because it's important to honour your donors. If they say blow this on alcohol, them's the rules. If they say not for alcohol, as some people do, them's the rules. If they say put this towards a tent if you can, then that's what we do. If I can, and if I don't, if the exigencies of life don't intervene. So I try and honour my subscribers, but PayPal just wasn't playing ball properly. Got in my way a little bit. But that was my Sunday, guys. Preparing for TrampCast and then doing the TrampCast. That's where we typically leave off. Well, upcoming. Okay, we finished the week's events there. And upcoming for the week, we kind of know, because we're already in the week, I've mentioned things that have happened. It's going to be windy. It was windy at the beginning of the week. There was some cloud and rain predicted for portions of the week that didn't really happen. In minor rain one morning. But the other things to be done are the things that were on the list from previously. Sorting out fishing. Yes, Patrick. Sorting out my tent, emptying it and getting on with reorganising and putting things back. Tidying up generally. The camp needs a clean out, but these 3 days of wind, everything gets moved around. I'll give you a little sneak peek of something that did happen this week. This wouldn't have been a looking ahead, but this is I got 2 sunbeds, 2 sun loungers. I already have a couple of mattresses for such things from my early days. I am the best equipped tramp in history probably. Told you, I've got chest of drawers in there, in the tent. I got shelving. I got my new flooring that I haven't put down yet with the wooden batons to lift things up off the ground if water does get into the tent. I got my gas barbecue from Damien, if you're still here. Well, Damien's friend Roger. Damien brought Roger. I think Damien twisted Roger's arms, but you know. They won't admit that because he's a gentleman. I'm kind of well equipped here. But EcoFlow, I could still use your help, and I can do you a favour and real world test your gear. I'm going to do a supercar. I'm going to put all these EcoFlow bits together. I'm going to call them out. I'm going to call you out. That's on my to-do list for this week. Clip these EcoFlow bits and call them out and see if we can't get on the grift. Okay, folks. We're almost at the end of the week already, aren't we? Where are we? Wednesday night, Wednesday evening. I'll be back again in 4 days. I'll be back on Sunday. Join me for TrampCast. Let's see if we can do this properly. I'll say my goodbyes properly, as we do. Here's the tradition. And so, from Tina, and from me, Delta Mike, out. Awkward moment because it didn't take my click. Out.